Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is now make the top profile to our car. Okay, so you have to select your blank. I know I have a bunch in here, but I'm going to continue the one we worked on. Okay, I notice that I have not turned on my transparency or that it turned itself off, so make sure that that is on. I want to do shaded with hidden edges so I can see that. Okay, I'm going to square up the front, slide it in here. Actually, we're going to move on to the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this to the bottom and start that way. Okay. So the first thing that we want to do is make a line of symmetry down, actually anywhere down the center. So we're going to go ahead and select, we'll actually need a new sketch. So I'm going to start with a new sketch. I'm going to select one of these flat portions of my car. So you do need some part of flat portion on your car. It doesn't matter which one. I can go ahead and select that plane. Now you know I have a plane there, and I can go ahead and call this top profile. Even though we are designing it from the bottom, it is still called the top profile. Okay? So next thing we're going to do is we need to, because this is symmetrical, we're going to start with a reference line or a construction line down the center. And it's going to start from there, and I'm not sure why it's not. Well, I guess we have to do a line in construction. There we go. Okay, and it doesn't matter really where you put it. You can put it the whole way through. I'm actually going to extend this end out a little bit. And you'll see why. Okay, it is 100% necessary to have the whole length of your car. I just like to see it as a visual because we're going to use this to mirror, and it doesn't have to be the whole length, but I like to have it out here a little bit. Okay, so next thing we're doing now is we're going to kind of start drawing our side profile. So I'm going to use the spline tool like we used before. Okay, and you start where you need to start. I like to start at the back. Okay, and you want to start off of the car. So I kind of want it to come down like this, and then I'm going to have it come in a little bit. Okay, and hopefully by now you figured out the more points you put, the more flexibility. If you want to stop bending, of course you can hit escape and then continue from there, and it's kind of no longer linked. Okay, that is totally up to you. Okay, if you want your car to be a complete point, you don't want to stop here because that's actually not the end of the car. That's the line there. You'd want to have it out here a little bit. Okay, so you want to stop it basically where visually the front of the car is. I'm going to have it go out a little bit. I don't want a flat front. So if I did it here, I'll show you a little later. I'm going to go ahead and end that sketch. And because that is right on that line, now the next step I need to do is mirror this. But we'll adjust that in a second. I'm going to mirror this, so I'm going to select mirror. And the mirror line is our construction line in the middle. And then the entity to be mirrored is this whole line. Now, if you broke it up, you just have to click multiple ones of them, and it'll mirror those over. Okay, we are done with mirroring, so we can turn that off. Next thing we need to do is to close the shape. I need to draw and connect the line out here. Now I noticed it doesn't, oh yeah, it did, it shaded it in. Okay, then I would be able to extrude it. Now the next step is to actually extrude this. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and click extrude. I'm going to click intersect, and just like before, I'm going to pull that straight through. It doesn't matter how far, and accept that. And now I have a car. So it does come to an exact point. Okay, so I don't really want that at a point quite like that. I want a little bit of flatness. So I'm going to go back to my top profile and edit that a little bit. I'm going to go ahead to the bottom, square it up. Now what I'm going to do is change this line And because they are mirrored, hopefully this isn't linked to that. Yeah, it's not letting me go. So I'm going to have to delete this portion of it. Surprised it's not letting me. Or what I can do is just keep dragging this out. I can also add a point. So I can add a spline point right here. And now what I can do, oops, well, that worked too. I didn't mean to click that. Now I can adjust this point so I end up having a front point. It doesn't matter what's out past your car, really. It just matters what goes to the end of your car. So then whenever I accept that, you'll see now I have more of a flat front. So that's more of what I was looking for. Okay, you want to make sure that you do keep that 1/8 inch or some room there. And that's basically how you do the top profile.